Hey guys, welcome back to another Build Insight. Just out of one of my gallery building sites this morning out at Belford Ave. I want to take this opportunity to go around and show you some of the framing details as we get ready to wrap this house up, making sure that we're framing it in a way that we're not getting cold spots in internal corners, missing insulation spots, and make sure we're setting up to be able to create ventilated cavities, making sure we're keeping the moisture away from the timber frame. Let's go for a walk around and show you some details. Okay, first thing I want to kick off with is our rafter centers. If you look up above me, you'll notice we've got some giant LVL rafters up there to be able to span over our nice big open plan kitchen living area. So what we've done here is close these up to 450 centers to eliminate the need for any extra ceiling bats. Why we've got them at 450s instead of your traditional 600 fixings for ceilings is we've upped the size of these insulation bats to an R6. The weight of that insulation bat actually puts more pressure on the plasterboard. To meet manufacturer's requirements, we needed to close it up to 450 centers on the plasterboard fixings so that you're not getting sagging or cracking. Hence why these ones are at 450s, a few extra pieces of timber, but ensuring we're complying with all manufacturer specs. Okay, let's talk wall junctions. So what we want to do is reduce cold spots in our walls. Generally what can happen with an external wall is your traditional framing where you've got vertical studs to create a wall junction. The carpenter comes along and wraps the outside of the house and insulation gets missed in that pocket. You end up with a cold spot in your wall. So what the guys have done here is actually created a bit of a ladder frame in the corner here to be able to have the timber fly through, cut some smaller insulation bats and get in behind the internal wall junctions. That way, when the outside, stuff like you can see behind this one, we've got the OSB brace board on here, that goes on before the wrap. So if a carpenter's in a big hurry, puts that on, at least this way we can get access to the inside of it to be able to tuck insulation behind all of these wall junctions, making sure we don't have any cold spots in our external walls. As we move now up to our roof, an important detail to note is a roof pitch under 10 degrees. Our ProClimb Memento wrap needs to be fully supported. So what we've got straight above me here, I'll show you in these shots, we've got some OSB board straight over top of our rafters to fully support the roof wrap. Also show you in these drone shots here, we've got the Mento wrap laid straight over top of the OSB board, packed up with a few counter battens. We've got our purlin spaced up on that. That allows a nice little gap between the underside of the Mento and the purlin, making sure we're getting airflow all the way from top to bottom to ensure it's not going to be able to trap any condensation, and if any moisture gets in there, it can drain out and dry. All right, as we move through to our windows, a detail I wanted to show here is the pitch of our windowsill. You might think, what am I saying, the pitch of the windowsill? These aren't flat. If we show you in the little detail here, we've set these at 5 degrees. What we've found in the past is you go around and you put the sill tape on around these windows without any form of back dam on there, which is another alternative we could be doing. If any condensation or any moisture gets onto that windowsill, if it's flat, it still can't actually run away. So what we've done is pitch these sills at 5 degrees, still kept the inside edge of it on the inside of the frame. That's still our existing, or our actual window opening size. But that way, allowing a little 5 degree pitch, just a little bit of fall on there. If there's any moisture build up or anything for some reason gets under the window, it can still drain out and down the wall. All right, so I've just moved over to the site board here. I'm just gonna draw a little detail and show you what we've got going on the outside at the bottom of these frames. So if you zoom in here, I'll show you my little drawing. So what we've got to start with, this is my wall frame, is our bottom plate, our concrete slab with our rebate. We don't have an internal air barrier as such, like the Intello here. So what we're gonna do to try and make the most of this is actually on the outside will be our wall wrap come down and overhang the bottom of the slab. What we've then got is the guys are going to put some Orcon sealant in behind the wrap on the face of the wall plate there, and then there'll just be some fixings in here. On the outside of this then as well, there'll be our counter batten. We'll go on the outside for our cladding to be installed on, just rubbed out the wall frame there, but you get the idea of it. And then on the inside, to make sure we've got nice airtight seal as best as possible as well, we're going to have a bead of polyurethane on the inside from our concrete junction to our wall frame on the outside here. What we've got going on the bottom then as well, underneath our cavity batten, we've got a little metal angle that's got a perforated bottom on it to cap off the gap onto the bottom there to stop vermin and bugs getting in. On the outside of that then, we've got our 50mm bass rock cladding that will go on. That's got a starter strip that gets nailed to the face of the cavity batten with a perforated edge on the front, and this face batten here, or sorry, this starter strip here has a perforated edge to be able to get rendered, and then that'll cap off all of this to be able to make sure that it's all nice and weather tight. Now we've got airflow going up our wall cavity there. and making sure we're keeping it airtight and nice and dry as well.